Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this partnership forum of the new South Asia Regional Center of the Global Center on Adaptation, which has just been launched an hour or two ago by the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina of Bangladesh, together with Mr. Ban Ki-moon, former Secretary General of the UN and Chair of the Global Center on Adaptation. And Also, we had statements from the Prime Minister of the Netherlands and ministers of the countries in the region. And then this was followed by a press conference, which uh, went a bit longer. So we are sort of being a bit late with the partnership forum, but thank you all for joining us, which is the launch of the Global Youth Adaptation Network, which I will invite Ms. Saima Wajed Hossain, the special envoy of the Climate Vulnerable Forum, to announce. And then we have a few representatives from global, regional, and national youth who will say a few words as well. Ms. Saima Wajid, if you can unmute yourself and please take the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Haq. Good evening, everyone. It is a real pleasure to be here this evening and to listen to the wonderful comments. It's been a mind-opening learning experience for me, as it isn't my area of expertise, and I have really enjoyed all of the comments and the very insightful information. It isn't my area of expertise, but it's certainly something I'm very passionate about. This just the whole topic and how welcome that has been, the concept of opening the GCA office over here, highlighting the needs of communities in the South Asia region. I hope that, given that we are the most populated part of the world and the most vulnerable in so many ways, that we can not only learn to help ourselves, there'll be opportunity to help other communities around the world. My task over here is to really launch something that I'm very passionate about. It's about young people and what they need. Within this whole climate conversation and the climate movement, young people have never been more important. They play an extremely important, critical role, and their voices really need to be heard, because after all, it is their decisions right now, but also what is going to impact them the most in the future. Young people act as powerful agents of change, and are needed now more than ever to bring in their new ideas and their ambition to make a difference and be effective in their communities. They can help develop adaptation solutions, and many of them are doing that within our communities, especially in Bangladesh. What we really could use is scale that up to make it more meaningful, to help it generate evidence, because all of their creative ideas that come from this generation, they are the ones who are experiencing the impact of climate change. And we see that especially with the current COVID situation, how much more that they are impacted. In some ways, they're physically perhaps more immune to being well, but ultimately it is affecting their education, their employment opportunities, their mental well-being. So therefore, the youth are and should be in the forefront of finding sustainable and effective solutions and help all of us. The youth in developing countries particularly are the ones who are more negatively impacted, because we don't have a lot of infrastructure and support mechanisms already in place that would mitigate some of these challenges they face. So given that they are the most impacted, we hope that their voices would be taken on to have more opportunity to reach a global stage, that they will help us further the cause of the initiative. As the Climate Vulnerable Forum ambassador for vulnerability, I have to say, um, that particular group was not much discussed here, but I guess that's where I come in. That's my job to talk about the different vulnerable groups. I want to dedicate my work as part of the envoy to changing how we converse about climate change, because we really need to find a more holistic approach, and given that we come from the approach, my approach is looking at the needs of groups that are additionally vulnerable. Um, they are the ones who are going to benefit the most. We may be vulnerable, but we are not powerless. However, when we live with disability, or we live with trauma, or we live with underlying mental health condition, or we live in extreme poverty, we are even more powerless. The youth, however, as we have seen in the last months, especially in this global pandemic, are incredibly resilient. We see that especially in Bangladesh. And I believe working with the youth is the most compelling way to alter our discourse and bring new energy to this ongoing debate that all of us have been a part of. While giving voice to a younger generation and using their views that a lot of the times we tend to overlook. I have no doubt that through the voices and actions of youth, we can change the conversation and drive real action where they will help us find solutions that work for them. I'm therefore very pleased that the GCA is supporting the youth leadership as one of its core program areas. This is something that Bangladesh has also been taking a lead on with youth-led organizations like YouthNet for Climate Justice, the International Center for Climate Change and Development, ActionAid Bangladesh, which are working on issues of climate issues, as well as the Young Bangla Network, which they had a 3-day conference and Let's Talk sessions. They're run by the Center for Research and Information. And this group network of young people engage in not just issues of climate change, but they deal with issues of health, of disability, social inclusion, employment, sports and culture, things that they directly impact them in their community. And it's tremendously amazing to learn about all of the innovative things that they have come up with. Most recently, the Coastal Youth Action Hub and the Bangladesh Scouts have also contributed their experience to delivering education and skill-based adaptation programs to the global scouting movement, with its environmental programs reaching millions of young people around the world. Recognizing the expertise on youth leadership that Bangladesh is able to contribute to, I'm very pleased to announce today the launching of GCA's Youth Adaptation Network, or YAN. I wish I could hear the claps. I think we're missing that reinforcing, but it's wonderful to see
Here
it.
we are.
The
Well done.
YAN will act as global umbrella platform to engage, empower, and amplify the role of young people around the world, including here in Bangladesh and across South Asia, in the whole adaptation agenda. As a thematic ambassador for vulnerability, I hope YAN, as an active part of GCA, will be a platform helping to expand the discourse on vulnerability, especially highlighting the needs of persons with autism, disabilities, those with psychosocial challenges, and those who have survived traumatic experiences, that have stemmed from climate change. I hope it will bring forward the voices that are affected, the experiences of not only the victims, but survivors who have demonstrated resilience and fortitude. By creating an environment where young people are engaged as equal stakeholders in climate adaptation actions, incorporating mechanisms that connects other issues affecting overall well-being, and providing them with opportunities to learn from one another through participation in a global network. The YAN will translate knowledge into action and advocate for adaptation to be accelerated at the national and global level. Following today's launch, global consultations led by young people will bring together over 2,000 leading youth thinkers, doers, and campaigners from across the world to develop a youth led call to action. This will be delivered to global leaders at the Climate Adaptation Summit on the 25th of January in 2021 in the Netherlands. Now, I'd like to speak directly to the young people who've joined us at this evening. I wish you, all of you, and the Yan, every success. This is your future to shape. You represent our hope and in achieving the fundamental changes that is needed to safeguard our planet. So all our hopes are pinned on you. You have to show us the way. You will always have me as an ally, and I hope to work together and achieve great things. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Ms. Ayman, for those wonderful words of encouragement. Now, I'd like to invite our last speaker for this evening, who is Ruhi Rusaba Jahan from the National Youth Program of the Bangladesh Scouts. Ruhi, please unmute your mic and take the floor.
Oh, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, honorable moderator and distinguished guests. I'm Ruhi Rusaba. It is a great honor to be joining you here today as a youth representative of Bangladesh Scouts. Scouting as a movement has always put significant importance on nature as it is one of the basic elements of the Scout method, and nature has forever been the playground for all our activities. So it is a given that for the conservation of nature and to fight global warming, Scouts are constantly taking positive and sustainable actions. For over 30 years, Bangladesh Scouts has been building proficiency of hundreds of thousands of scouts on the subjects of soil and water conservation, tree plantation, nature conservation, etc. And Bangladesh Scouts is always encouraging our efforts with badges and awards. Through programs like Earth Tribe, Bangladesh Scouts has great plans for uniting youth to preserve, protect, and heal nature. Scouts Go Solar, Tide Turners Plastic Challenge, Champions for Nature challengers are going to open gates towards natural safety and protection. It has developed a trained disaster response team to stand beside the suffering humanity during natural calamities and disasters, along with UNDP in 2009, when Cyclone Ayla hit us. BD Scouts distributed temporary shelter kits to more than 26,000 families in just 2 weeks. This is one of the great examples of the youth's strength in tackling and responding to these events. Even during this pandemic, while staying home, we youths make the best utilization of our time to counter the food shortage during and after pandemic. Our Honorable Prime Minister instructed every scout and scouter to use the spare spaces to create kitchen gardens. Accordingly, Bangladesh Scouts has taken the initiative and introduced the platform Scout Agro with the motto Scouts Go Organic, to express our gratitude and commitment to the father of our nation and to celebrate the centennial anniversary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Bangladesh Scouts has taken the initiative to plant 1 million saplings. With almost 2 million scout members, Bangladesh Scouts is the biggest youth movement in this country to work relentlessly for the protection of nature under the great leadership of our Scout President Muhammad Abu Kalam Azad and our Chief National Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Mozammel Haq Khan. In this respect, we are committed to work as a partner for future initiative with the government. Special thanks to GCA and Ms. Saima Wazit Hussain as our friend for launching this youth adaptation network that will connect enthusiastic youths from all over the country to set an example before the world. We hope Ms. Saima Wazit Hussain will be with us to encourage and make the dreams of the father of our nation a reality. Thank you again. Best wishes to the Global Youth Adaptation Network for the journey ahead. Long live Scouting, long live Bangladesh.
Thank you very much, Ruhi. That was excellent. Thank you.